Okay, thank you, Eric. Hello, everyone, and I'm happy to be here again. This is actually my second time at Virtual Expo. Last time I was here with a session called 20 Application Packaging Tips and Tricks in 20 Minutes. And the same as the last time, I want to uncover some of our secrets and give value to all of you. Today, I will show you our application packaging framework that helps us package any Win32 application. Are you ready? Let's go. So, my name is Toms Knostenbergs and I'm co-founder at Master Packager. I have multiple years of experience in application packaging, doing thousands of applications for hundreds of customers. Currently, I'm an instructor at Become a Master Packager courses, where we have compressed all our knowledge into 5 days. Last but not least, for the last 10 years, I'm building different products for different companies. That experience actually helped me build Master Packager, on which I and my team is fully focused right now. Our vision is to make application packaging affordable, making you to become a master packager. That's really what we are aiming to. And it shouldn't be hard to build application packages for Windows operating system, right? However, as application packages, we package for banks, healthcare, oil and gas, just to name a few. And these companies send us either all their application portfolio or just the complicated ones. And turns out sometimes it doesn't make sense economically to package these hard apps in-house, as for less experienced packages it would take days. Another thing was that at some of these companies, they had their internal packaging team, and we needed to have the highest application standards and follow all the best practices. Otherwise, they may reject the package. And for us, we needed to be able to package all of these apps within 8 hours. Any complexity, any configuration, or else we would get penalty that would show up in our salary, and of course could cause issues for the end customer. So what to do? We needed a solution, and this is what we came up with. These are 3 things that we think is really important to package any Win32 application. Framework, some kind of guidance in form of questions or requirements that help us not to get stuck and find a solution in the shortest time. Tools, affordable but with excellent quality, performance and functionality. And as well, knowledge. Our own trial and error for years made us understand what is worth knowing, doing, and what's not. So let's start with the framework. These are 5 parts of our Master Packager framework: evaluation, packaging, configuration, wrapping, and testing. So let's start with evaluation. And first, you must know your target environment, right? What are the target machine, their operating system version, architecture, type? Is it physical or virtual machines? Especially important when working with drivers. As well, the deployment strategy. But this is obvious to all of us, right? However, when it's comes to understanding the vendor installers, usually our goal is to get the MSI, because it's just much easier with MSIs. If you don't have it, then use these steps to try to find it or see other options how to install apps silently. Start with searching vendor deployment instructions next to the provided media that is usually missed by the packagers, and only then go to vendor's website and try to search there. The Then use internet. We have master packager app library on our website. It has searched to find our approved articles on how to install apps silently. Currently, we have more than 1,700 records of packaging recipes, and you can actually post your own blog post for approval to show up at this app library. You can use then, of course, Google. The usual keywords that we try to use is, of course, silent, less known as unattended, or suppress. These keywords usually as well show up some articles from vendors. Then we can move and check the MSI inside the EXE. And our training, we actually show, training class, we actually show different methods how you can actually do that. And then check the dependencies and as well binary install location. Of course, we want the application files ending up in program files, but not all developers do that. Some of them ends up in app data. Just now, you can actually move these binaries from app data to program files if you really need so. And then the final step for evaluation, we look on upgrade. Will you need to upgrade previous versions? Are there any installed, are they installed manually, or these are previously packaged applications that are on the system? So just know to ask these questions and get the answers too. Then at this point, you should be able to understand which packaging type to use. There are 4 of them: vendor deployment solution, MST, if you have a vendor MSI, complete repackaging, or you maybe want to start from scratch and create MSI file like this. Not saying best practices, but let's call them proven practices. These are just a few of them that I listed here that we usually try to use. So first, of course, separate the dependencies as individual apps. It will be much easier to maintain these application updates and fixes. So please do that. As well, of course, everyone knows this: disable automatic updates and pop-ups if the enterprise standards are required to, and usually they require. As well, desktop shortcuts, and unlike to as well remove useless shortcuts, like shortcuts to release notes or something like that that regular users don't really need on their computer. But that's again up to the company to decide. Never edit vendor MSI directly. I'm listing this point because I still see people doing that, so please don't do that. Use MST files for every vendor MSI. There are rare exclusions when the vendor really don't understand anything about MSI and they created a big mess. So that may be one exclusion, but still, it is really rare cases. Chaining MSI with MSI. It's possible, but please don't do that. It will cause bigger problems than you need. Use PowerShell App Deploy Toolkit. And of course, in long run, it will save you a lot of hours if you will just copy everything. You have license key provided in email, copy it from email and paste it in your package. Do not retype it. You will spend hours troubleshooting that. And hard-coded entries, use properties to replace these license keys or server names or anything else that is hard-coded to property. Then and only then we move to configuration. When you have application that can install silently, we find and apply configuration. And process monitor is the fastest way to find configuration. you can find any configuration in less than 2 minutes actually. So use that. KDiff3 is another freeware that we use to compare changes in configuration files, and this is how we can see which items to actually use as a configuration. Our favorite is MSI to applying this configuration. There are a bunch of benefits versus just using a script. So consider using MSI to applying the configuration. And when you need to install per user configuration to all users over system account, we have master packager predefined custom actions. I will show you them in one of the next slides. And that is to avoid active setup, and you don't need to rely on advertised shortcut that will give repair for end users to apply to get the configuration. Then the sixth step is to use wrapping everything with PowerShell app deploy toolkit. And it's just the best. It's standardized deployment, user interaction, login, and code. If you are not using it, I highly recommend to start using it or just checking it out. And the last step is to lower the risk doing proper testing. Again, these are only few of the main steps we are doing and teaching at our courses, but these are like testing with system account, PS exits, installation and uninstallation. Make sure the application runs as original. Check that everything gets uninstalled, and you can make MSI to uninstall and even exe to uninstall everything it installed. So you just need to test it and check it. As well, test upgrade all the previous versions you need to, and perform system restart and test on different virtual machines and user accounts. We have actually found few of the issues with even Microsoft products when packaging them using their vendor deployment solution, and then when testing with different VMs or using with usually it was with different user accounts, we found out some issues with that. So it's worth doing that. And that's the high level of master packager framework that should guide you to package any Win32 application. But now let's look on some tools. As we discussed previously, these packaging types, we have developed master packager applications to actually handle them. So for example, for MSI editing or creation, same goes for MST, we have master packager. For repackaging, of course, master repackager. And to wrap everything together, there is master wrapper. We will go a bit more in the details. And again, I will not have time to actually explain all the cool features we have. I just want to highlight just a few of them. And the first one, if you haven't used master packager previously, it's the, I would call it, understandable interface. A lot of customers give us good feedback that they say that they just understand how to use it. And that is our goal, make the software the way it makes you a master packager. And when you need a deeper dive inside the MSI, use master packager table editor. There you will find convenient functionality to find what you are looking for and do changes. Then cool stuff, our predefined custom actions. So look at this interface. You can see how you can actually copy files or folders to per user destination. All you need to do is choose the source, folder, or file and choose the destination. And that's it. It just works. We have built the same functional for applying or removing per user registries. You can run PowerShell scripts with MSI, replace string in the the text file, adding and removing firewall exceptions, and finally, our latest predefined action lets you append or prepend text line in the file that is useful when you, for example, packaging SIP packages that require a service file modification. You don't need to write your own scripts, so this is standardized way tested with thousands of packages. So try it. Then maybe it's a less known functionality, like for example, adding property to the app search that manually would take so much longer. And you may ask what it is and why you need to use it. Because when property values is changed during deployment, and end user do MSI repair, the property value will be restored to the one in the MSI. And to prevent that, you need to create an upsearch registries. And this is how simple it is to do it with master packager. Just right click and add property to the upsearch, and you can even do it for multiple properties at a time. When you have MSI and you want to get MST file with all the values added during MSI installation wizard, use response transform, and it's available in free community version. Use it. It will again save you so much time. And finally, templates. They allow you to automate boring parts of packaging. Do you have standard properties that you apply almost on every MSI or MST? Put them in templates and apply with one click. You have registry fingerprints, same, apply to the templates. You have favorite custom actions, or you struggle to create this one custom action that installs, I don't know, drivers or whatnot, and you want to remember them. Put it in templates, and when you need it, just again right click and it will apply all the custom actions, all the install, execute sequence, and so on. So it's just automates as much as possible. When it comes to repackaging, I hope everyone has seen this, but if you haven't, this is how simple it is to repackage some older exe or installation that doesn't support silent installation into MSI file. You do the first snapshot, you make changes, so install the application, and it supports reboot as well if your application needs one. Then do the second snapshot, review captured files and registries, and we have excellent exclusion list adjusted for Windows 10 and Windows 11 that we try to update with every release. So you should see really little noise captured, but still you have to check and remove all the unnecessary files, and then build MSI or MSIX packages. And previously, when we didn't have master repackager as application packagers, and we used different other tools to repackage, we had like a ton of different manual work after the repackaging process to be done with MSI. And now we took all that knowledge and tasks and put everything in this one software. Again, if you find something that you feel could be automated, reach out to us and we will definitely add it. But we are doing it all the time. And when it comes to master wrapper, it wraps your application into PowerShell App Deploy Toolkit with the user interface. And it's just faster than editing manually, especially if you have multiple installations. Try it. We at least tried it ourselves, and the one who's using master wrapper is just so much faster. And not only that, it removes typos. If you do manual editing, it could possibly create typos for you, but when functions are automated, it will just not make typos. It's a big help for beginners to understand how PowerShell App Deploy Toolkit actually works. And it removes need for documentation, at least for the main functionalities. And we have as well things like PowerShell deploy toolkit actions. That is just snippets of the PowerShell lines that you can save and apply at any moment. So cool, a little feature. And as well, recently we created a functionality where you just can right-click on PowerShell deploy toolkit wrapper and convert into Win file. This is really quickly running over with a high level for framework and tools. And the last one, knowledge. And for that, we know that it is rare to find knowledgeable packagers, as it takes years to gain the needed experience and knowledge on your own. That is why we created these 5-day courses, so you don't need to spend 5+ years on trial and error yourself. So check out what is included in our website at masterpackager.com to find out more. And yeah, that is from my side a high overview how to use Master Packager framework to package any Win32 application. And try it.
Yeah. So basically, thank you for supporting us, and I stand by, you know, the training I've gone through. It is really amazing. The software is amazing. It's really easy to use. In fact, I'm just started training my 11-year-old kid, and he's using Master Packager to, you know, to find the basic information in an MSI file to be able to create an in file for Intune and so on. And I know that Marius, he has started training his kid as well on GitHub. So are you there, Marius?